Daybreak here on Arise News. Time for the press preview. A first look at what's on the front pages. As they arrive, let's take a look at This Day, our sister publication's leading headline this morning. APC's NWC names Akpabio for Senate President, Abass for Speaker. Presidential election, court dismisses AA suit against Tinubu. Orders APP, LP to harmonize processes with INEC and APC. Atiku PDP make case for live broadcast of proceedings. Just above the nameplate of This Day this morning, Kamala Fair hails Buhari's quick response in resolving NUPLC NMDPRA's overlap in crude export terminal supervision.
On the front page of the Punch this morning, it's leading also with the tribunal as Tinubu Atiku obeys legal battle commences. PDP APM's petitions pre-hearings hold today. Labour Party obeys case Wednesday. Tribunal warns lawyers say those who deserve justice will get it. Some other stories on the front page this morning. Let's take a look at those above the nameplate. National Assembly, APC picks Akpabio, Abass, that's for Senate presidency and of course speakership. High duty vehicle imports crash by 128%. Obi's visit's not about reconciliation, says Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka. And this and many more you can find in a copy of the Punch this morning.
Right, let's look at the Tribune newspaper. NAS presiding officers, position heightings as APC NWC adopts Akpabio Abass as President of the Senate and Deputy. Abass as a Speaker. Barao Northwest guest Deputy Senate President. Carlo, former spokesman of the House. Southeast gets Deputy Speaker. Aggrieved aspirants vow to proceed with their aspirations to write NWC, Betara declares. And then for speakership, was set to declare on Friday. Former senators endorse Akpabio. Some other stories there at the topmast. FG, it says, FG offers certificate of discharge to Transcorp Power Limited. And if you get down, presidential election petition, court dismisses AA's petition. While we withdrew our petition, National Chairman of Action Alliance says that while Nigeria should join BRICS, this is coming from Falana. And also Supreme Court delivers judgment on governorship petition today.
All right, all the other papers have similar headlines, so let's just get right into it and bring in Emmanuel Bello to dissect what's happening around the country. This morning, Emmanuel, the Presidential Election Tribunal has begun the battle for people contesting the just concluded election. Let's begin with how difficult it's been to move around in Abuja. How easy or difficult was it for you to get to the studio, Emmanuel?
Yeah, I missed you guys yesterday, by the way. And yes, it's the crisis of getting to work, especially if you live on the other axis, that's heading from the AYA, Karu, Nyanya, Marbazi. Such a serious gridlock, and it has to do some of it with the tribunals that you're talking about. Roads are being blocked off, and it's making vehicular movement very difficult. In an economy that is already slow, it appears this is getting people even slower, which is not what we want. I mean, we need this movement. We need people to be able to get to work fast. We need to look at the implication of all of that. So I think if the authorities are listening, they need to do something about those. They've tried to dualize those links, but the vehicular movement around those our areas are slowed by this deliberate, from time to time, just cordon off roads and just isolate people. And it tells you, it goes to the heart of the matter. The crisis at the tribunals. They need to supervise, to police it, to draw a lot of security around it. That's also because of the worries in some quarters. I don't think any other presidential tribunal has, drawn such attention, such focus, such scrutiny from the public as this one. And kicking off yesterday, the judges who are in charge and those who are in charge of it were optimistic that justice is going to be served. I can assure you, Nkechi, that it's going to be one of the most watched tribunals, and now that it's going to be, there are calls that should be done live on TV so that we watch it. It's going to provide a lot of material for daytime TV and for those who are watching keenly to see the issues that are presented. So that level of scrutiny, that level of intense inspection of this process probably will be able to make it a very, very transparent and one that people who are looking for justice one way or the other, and for the rest of us actually bring a closure to a very, very dicey issue about this government, how it came into place. A lot of people not expecting that APC was going to win, considering that the election was about it was a referendum on the performance of APC in government. But now APC is forming government and actually getting ready for inauguration. So that's why those who hope that there will be a better day or some kind of change will be finding this tribunal very interesting and win the media to, I guess, this is serious business now to focus on it seriously and see what is happening.
Well, Emmanuel, great to have you back here. Indeed, we missed you yesterday. I guess these are the times we have to live with. It's not always going to be there. The petition tribunal is just going to be for a while. Perhaps it's a price we all need to pay at this time. But let's move on now. Regardless of the national daily you picked today, Emmanuel, you will find a recurring story, and that's the 10th National Assembly leadership, the governing All Progressives Congress, took a decision yesterday. But I wonder what you think. If you look at any of the front pages, it tells you the direction of the party. However, I know there are those who are criticizing the decision. Do you think that the APC is stirring up the hornet's nest, or do you think that, this was right for them to do?
Well, I think that's why the confusion around this, for at least we first have to commend the APC for at least bringing it to some kind of understanding. This is faster than we saw in 2015, and I think in 2019 too. The party was able to rally its base and able to make a quick decision on who they want and how they want it. And I think the presidential candidate too was quick to make a decision. Buhari dilly-dallied over this in his days, and it had all sorts of consequences. The process was hijacked, but APC seemed to have gotten its act together, and they're able to say this. But that leaves us with one other big issue: the person that has been picked, Akpabio. A lot of Nigerians are beginning to critique him, focus on him, his records in office as governor, what he did, what he didn't do, his personality. For a government that has already, garnered for itself a lot of backlashes on various fronts. First, the person of the presidential candidate, Tinubu, and then the ticket, the Muslim ticket that generated a lot of furor out there. Adding Akpabio to the mix, it's something again that has generated a lot of, for those who love to criticize the APC, they say that is a letting down, especially for those who thought that position should actually go to the Southeast. Yesterday, a lot of people I spoke with were expressing concern that, look, the Southeast once again has been shortchanged. But APC people will tell you, like Indy likes to tell me all the time, that, look, it's about party politics, it's about the numbers, it's about what you brought to the table, and that this is reward system for Akpabio and for the things he's done for the party, and the fact that South-South actually brought good numbers to the party. But there are people who are thinking of the balancing act in all of this, the fact that this presidency should be able to reflect all the parts. Those who are thinking like that, those who are thinking nationalistically, those who are thinking patriotism, those who are thinking that this formation should be a reflection of our diversity, are saying that, look, the Southeast has been shortchanged in the scheme of things. They will have loved that someone from the Southeast has done it. But then they say it's no one to blame. Some people even blame the Southeast and say, look, they were not cohesive enough. They didn't go into this as a front. The governor of Imo State, for instance, did not throw his weight and support on the personality of Senator Izinazu. So that makes it very difficult for them to go around that. So, well, it's bound to create a lot of, jeering comments from Nigerians who are watching this. Some have even criticized that, look, it's a governor thing. You now have former Governor Tinubu, former Governor Shetima, and a former governor of Akpabio State as Senate President. Looks like a governor's show. I think someone was looking at that earlier on the network. So it will just tell you something about the power of governors in this country, that after 8 years or so of being on the saddle, they garner so much power that they can control just about anything, just about every levers of our democratic structure. So that gives them undue advantage over every other person, not businessmen, not people in the civil force, not people in doing other things. But they've gathered enough wealth, and so they can do everything. So I think while APC is being commended for having some kind of cohesion, at least bringing some kind of structure and stability to what has been chaotic in the past, people are worried about the personality themselves, and Akpabio is out there now with the jury actually out to fact check on him, who he is, what kind of Senate president is he going to be. Some people say he's a jolly good fellow. He knows how to walk around with all sorts of people, especially with the fact that he knows how to throw his weight around goodwill around politicians. The other day we saw open support for him from some senator. So we'll watch to see, but for now, a lot of people criticizing the process itself.
Before the talk was, it used to be the military, taking over leadership. Now we're hearing is the former governors. But talk about party supremacy that should hold sway. Some members of the NAS are contesting the zoning arrangement of the APC. What do you make of it? Adodoguwa is saying he's still in the contest. Wase is saying he's going to declare on Friday. Batara declared yesterday. That was one of the reasons we had a terrific, bottleneck traffic. So what do you make of that in terms of party supremacy? Shouldn't that be the case?
Yes, and I don't see them making any headway, because the party have spoken, and it will be difficult for anything. If anything, I'm looking at the opposition party to see what they can do, to bring. Someone was asking me yesterday whether this is it, whether this is Akpabio is going to emerge, Abass Tajuddin is going to be speaker. So, well, the process is being challenged by first from the party structure itself. Those who are in the party are challenging that process, but of course the opposition too. Having meetings, all through yesterday, thinking of how to, mitigate whatever is going to happen. But at this point, it's difficult. I think with our experience in all of this, the party has spoken, and it seems as if of course, the presidential president-elect is backing these choices. So it's difficult to see where all this opposition is going to. But they will try. I think some of them are angling for bigger and better positions within the scheme of things. But as it is, seems as if this is the template for now, and that's what the party is going to go with. Certainly, that is what the president-elect is also going to back, and it's difficult to say at this point if this will change at all.
Bello, thank you so much for joining us this morning. That's the press preview. Let's hear your view on all the burning issues. Follow us on Twitter @ArisTV.